Hello everyone and welcome to Errmal's World. I am Errmal and this is episode 52. Dun dun dun. So today's episode we are going to look at the new game over here in the Carnival District. It is a game very similar to Decked Out with some important changes, and I want to walk you through what those changes are and do a little bit of a training on how to play the new Dungeon Crawler game on the server. But first, before we get to that, I realized that, not super awesome maybe on the intros, and so I'm going to give you several different intros that I could have used, and I want you to tell me what you think the best intro is. So we're going to run those, and then we're going to dive right into the dungeon game. Bonjour, je m'appelle Errmal. And I want you to say you have a very beautiful face. Hello, all you miners and crafters, and welcome to Errmal's World, in the land of Errmals and crafting. Oh, okay, never mind. Howdy folks, Errmal here, recording as I always do from Nashville, Tennessee, which is weird because I'm not in either Nashville nor Tennessee. Okay, maybe that's not a good intro either. Alright, so yeah, take a look at those. Let me know which one you think is the most interesting, maybe the most entertaining, or maybe the one you like the least. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and jump right into the new Dungeon Crawler game. I don't have a name for it, I just sort of call it the Dungeon game. Here we are in the Carnival District. It doesn't have a very good entrance. See, this big pink tower is blocking the entrance. If you're familiar with HermitCraft, then you're familiar with that hurt a lot because I don't have my Elytron. You're familiar with TangoTek's game, Decked Out. He's got it underground. I have mine underground. Those are some of the similarities. As we enter the main room of the Dungeon Crawler game, you're going to see a couple things that look very similar to Decked Out. I want to talk about those, and I want to talk about generally how you play the game. This is the entrance to the dungeon. You must have a dungeon key. As a player, you will come here with your dungeon key. The goal is to get as many loot sets complete as possible. So this is very similar again to Decked Out with the collection sets. I have 4 different sets of 4, common, uncommon, rare, and legendary. The sets refer to the 4 main worlds that you can reach in Minecraft: the overworld, the nether, the end, and the chicken world. Those 4 worlds are represented by the loots. You will get the loots out of these mechanisms here once you get the right things from the dungeon that can give those to you. And when you run the dungeon, you will see a series of black buttons. They look like that. When you click the black button, it will send the right signals through the right redstone-y magicness, and it will let the game know that you have done that. And then when you exit the dungeon, you will hit this button, and it will tally up all of the buttons that you've pressed and give you the correct loot. The loot is random. You can get relics. Relics are items that throughout the dungeon you'll find hoppers with buttons on them. Not hoppers, droppers with buttons on them, and you can put the relic inside the dropper, hit the button, and if it's the correct relic, magic will happen, and something will happen that will allow you to do more in the dungeon. Either a secret door will open up, let you go through it, it will let you have a little jump up, it'll lower a bridge, it'll raise a bridge, whatever needs to happen to help you out. Those relics, when you put them in the dropper and hit the button, it'll start a clock. And that will only help you for that many minutes that clock is set to. So maybe it'll help you block yourself off from skeletons for a minute, maybe 5 minutes, who knows. You'll learn as you keep running the maze what is what. And now here's just a little example of me putting my coin into the dropper, hitting the button, and entering the dungeon.
There are 12 of these blackstone buttons hidden around the dungeon. As I go around and I find them, I go ahead and press those buttons. I can press them multiple times. Doesn't really matter. It's not going to give me any more for pressing it more. When I'm all done with the dungeon, I hit the button on the opposite wall, and the loot will come through that water stream and land on my face. I get really excited about it, get really impatient. I can get things like dungeon coins. I can get relics. I can get some garbage. Yeah, he's a little sad there looking at me. Throw away some garbage. And I can also get loot wands. Loot wands are the things you want. They're little sticks. When you get those, that's what you need to move forward.
Okay, and now I have the loot. The collectibles you won't necessarily get from hitting the buttons, but you'll get something called a loot wand or a magical loot wand. You can bring those over here, drop those in there, and be on your way. You can get more relics with coins. If you have more of these dungeon coins, 10 coins will get you a random relic. And a relic is something that looks like this. It won't have a thing called common or uncommon after it. Dun, dun, dun. Okay. Make sure you set your spawn before you go in. The only thing you can do when you're in the only thing you can take with you into the dungeon are relics. Everything else must be put away. Drop all your gear, drop all your armor. I'm not going in right now, so I don't have to do that. Let me organize my stuff on screen because that bores people when they watch Minecrafters organize their inventory. You will get 2 dungeon keys per day into your mailbox. So I have set up these 3 places here for these players that I know will definitely want to play. Look in your mailbox. I will try to put 2 keys in there every morning. There are ways to get other keys. I am not sure how I'm going to do that yet. We will learn, and I'll make sure I send that out to the Discord. But the idea is you're going to need to run this dungeon many, many times if you're going to get the loot sets collected. For every loot set collected, you will get a point. At the end of 2 weeks, we will tally up who has the most points. The winner gets that piece of bread. That's the one. I don't know what the winner's going to get. I'll have to figure it out. We'll make it worth it. But right now, I'm still learning all those things. If you have any ideas on things that are broken in the dungeon and you would like to tell me, go ahead and, again, reach out through Discord and we'll talk through those and we'll make it all work. If you have any confusion on the rules are right here. You can flip through these at your leisure. Or is it leisure? I don't know what the correct way of pronouncing that word is. All right. I hope this is exciting for you as it was for me to make this. I hope you enjoy it. Good luck.
Oh, and one more thing. For the record, this is not where we store employees. That's not what that means.